yeah, there's definitely challenges of adapting and having to deal with maybe the stereotypes and just starting from zero.
I was pretty down, I would say, maybe at the beginning, especially because I didn't have a job.
I was sad. I remember crying for months, like every night when I went to bed, I cried, like just cried.
Challenges. There is a very long list.
One of the first challenges was we just didn't have a lot of money. Your rupees turn into dollars when you come here, and everything is so expensive.
I didn't have a job. I just kind of came out here and just tried my luck, and it was rough for a couple of years.
I struggled to find my first job here. And I was like, it's gonna be fine, right? Like, I mean, I have 2 years of experience, I have a master's degree, it's gonna be okay. And I was going through interviews and when I had interviews, because I was not getting a lot of interviews.
And my dad worked 3 jobs, 7 days a week to make ends meet. And my mom would make belts. And she would, she just made these little belts and she would get paid 50 cents a pop.
For my mom, she kind of had to start from zero and find a job and, find a house and then support the 3 of us. And because she wanted to give us a good life and, we were in the U.S., the land of opportunity, she was giving us money every week to kind of just spend on our friends, going out with our friends and stuff. And then she realized that she couldn't afford it because she was living with 3 kids, a new home, on minimum wage. So she had to take it back. And for us, it was like, oh, okay, so we are starting from zero and you have no money. So I think that instance was kind of like when we realized, me as a kid, I realized like, oh, it's not that easy to move here.
I wanted to buy a doll. I didn't have toys of that, because when you move here, you just kind of bring all the essentials. And I wanted like an American toy. I wanted a doll. And my brother had saved up, my older brother, he had saved up for months. And he's like, I've saved up money, let's go buy you a toy. And I bought a doll for $7. And my mom was like, how could you spend that much money on a doll?
I missed my family. I miss my family a lot, my sister. And when I came here, it's not like now we have the phones, an international call was a big deal. And my most expensive, my cost was around telephones.
I was having all these new experiences and everything was fun and exciting and I was meeting new people and I was speaking a different language and I was learning so much, in dance and outside of it as well, that I didn't really have time to feel homesick. So whenever I did, though, it was hard and it was difficult to just accept that I was there on my own. I guess that was really the biggest challenge for me.
I felt like I was cheating on where I grew up. I felt like I was saying to a country that gave me a great education and to a family that was really supportive that that's not what I wanted and that they weren't good enough and that I just took that from them and then left. I still feel a little guilty about that.
Going back to Brazil now as an adult, I never really feel like I belong there. And that is a difficult thing to process.
Because it's so expensive to go back home. So we would go back like once every 5 years. So my mom really wouldn't, she didn't see her family for 6 years. I can't imagine not seeing my family for that long. So, but I think that's such a typical story for a lot of immigrants who do come here. They have a family that they just don't see their parents or their siblings for a long time.
And I think as I look forward, knowing that there'll be times when I can and can't travel for visa reasons. I won't be able to go to certain friends' weddings. I'm gonna miss the birth of babies. I am not gonna get to see certain family members of mine before they pass away, and I know that's gonna happen. And sometimes that's really hard.
My mom always made the best of every situation. Like our curtains, we couldn't afford them, so she made them. She went and found cheap fabric and she made curtains. Like she made her home her home. And my dad was always like he knew it was hard, no matter what. But he knew that if we tried hard enough, things would get better over time.
moved here to basically pursue my dream to become a professional dancer. And my parents, you know, they invested in me, they supported me, and I felt like I would let them down if I didn't make it. And I would, of course, let myself down if I didn't make it. So every now and then I would have those thoughts, like, what if I don't? What if all of this is, you know, doesn't amount to anything, and I just end up going back to Brazil and having to pursue a different career? And that thought, you know, would come and go, but it was always a presence that, and it was something that kept me pushing, you know, when I was hurting or when I didn't get cast on something. And so I would always come back to that, like, I have to keep going. And the fear of not making it was definitely something that kept me pushing more and more.
Some aspects are harder than others. And here in the United States, I think I have gone through several existential crises and several identity crises. But at the same time, I think I have opportunities here that I could never have had I still been in Iraq or Syria or Kuwait. So there's that.